We've reached the midway point of the NFL season, and Buck Nation, you know what time it is. Hear me now! It's your rude boy Juan Swagadello, and thanks for tuning in to our Week 10 episode of Tough Bucs. We'll briefly talk about the Bucs' Week 9 loss to the Seahawks. I'll give you my mid-season grade for the Buccos, and we'll then preview their Week 10 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. So let's giddy up. The Bucs came into Seattle pissed off and desperate for a win against a very tough Seahawks team. To a lot of people's surprise, our Bucs went toe-to-toe with the NFC heavyweight, taking the game to overtime. Jameis Winston and the Bucs offense were up to the test, playing a solid game and jumping out to an early 21-7 lead in the first half. However, injuries to Carl Nassib and Carlton Davis ultimately hurt the Bucs defense as they were forced to play with a bunch of rookies, and the inexperience showed. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks were able to move the ball up and down the field on this young secondary and even had their way on the ground against the league's best run defense. With this loss, the Bucs are now on a 4-game losing streak and have concluded their grueling stretch of road games. In the end, they went 1-4 in that span and will likely need to win their remaining 8 games to make the playoffs. Yeah, that ain't happening. For the second straight week, the Tough Buck Award goes to my guy Mike Evans. Look, this guy's an absolute monster. He took a lot of punishment throughout this game, but was still able to shred the Seahawks defense. Since his Week 5 performance against the Saints, where he gave fantasy owners a big fat donut, Evans has been heavily involved in the offense and producing at an insane rate. It's unfortunate though because Evans is doing all this work in a losing effort. Here's to you, Mike. Moving on to the Buck that walks the plank, and our sharp fake for Week 9 is Jamel Dean. Well, I got what I wished for, and yikes, it was ugly. Carlton Davis' injury in the first half forced Dean to play the entire game, and boy did he get picked on. Russell Wilson repeatedly kept going his way, eventually scoring 2 touchdowns on the rookie. To Jamel's defense, he did have a few key breakups, but overall he gave up way too many explosive plays. The biggest one on a deep cross play to DK Metcalf, who took it to the house for 53 yards. Sorry Jamel, but you, my friend, must walk the plank. Oh, how tough it is being a Buccaneer fan. If it's not the defense, it's the offense. If it's not the offense, it's the defense. If it's not the offense or defense, it's the special teams. When will this team play a complete game? Week 10 against the Cardinals is our best bet. At the midway point of the season, I give this team a big fat D-. And had it not been for the 2 road wins against possible playoff teams, I would have given this team an F. Buck Nation, prepare yourselves for the worst, because it's looking like another season where the Bucs won't make the playoffs. But let's be optimistic. I mean, come on. I'm hoping the Bucs finish strong, going 6-2 or 5-3. I mean, that would be tight, right? The Buccaneers will finally get to play in front of their home fans in Tampa as they host the Arizona Cardinals, who's headlined by rookie quarterback Kyle Murray. The Cardinals are sitting last in the NFC West and have had some close games, but were only able to get wins against opponents at the bottom of the NFL. Arizona's offense ranks in the middle of the pack of the NFL in all categories, and they've only managed to score 18 touchdowns in 9 games. And that ain't cutting it. Newly acquired running back Kenyon Drake had himself a nice game against a tough 49ers defense in his debut last week. And although the Bucs' run defense had issues against Chris Carson, I expect the league's top-ranked run defense to bounce back against the Cardinals. The problem isn't the run though, it's obviously the secondary. If the Bucs' top cornerback Carlton Davis can't play, then the Arizona Cardinals will likely have more success than if he was out there. To put it frank, Arizona's defense is awful. They give up a lot of yards against the run and are just as bad as the Bucs against the pass. They also give up a lot of points, which the Bucs offense will take advantage of. The Bucs will look to establish the run with new starter Ronald Jones, and as I've been preaching this entire season, they'll have to have a balanced game to win. If they're successful on the ground, then that'll open up the play action. Regardless, the Bucs receiving core, which includes 2 top 5 receivers, will have a field day against another pedestrian secondary. Now that we're all caught up with the Cardinals, let's take a look at a key matchup in this game. The defensive line of the Bucs will have to continue their dominance against the run because David Johnson appears to return against the Bucs. But more importantly, they'll have to contain Kyle Murray and put pressure on him to give this secondary a chance. If not, then it's going to be another shootout, and look how that turned out last week. If Murray's able to cut loose, then look out for thoroughbred linebackers of Levante David and Devin White to track him down to avoid those explosive plays. Only Carl Nassib and rookie Anthony Nelson did not practice on Wednesday. Everyone else has been limited or full participants. OJ Howard looks to suit up this weekend, and hopefully he'll be more involved in the offense than he has been. Last week I went 2-0 on my picks, bringing my overall record to 7-9. Let's see if I can keep the streak going, baby. The Buccaneers are actually favorited by 4.5 points in this game. Now that they finally get to play in Tampa after being away for 6 weeks, I expect the Bucs to put on a show for the home fans. It's not going to be an easy game though, because their pass defense will likely keep Arizona in this game. However, I think the D will step it up and the Bucs offense will fire the cannons at will against this struggling defense that's given up the most yards in the NFL. I'll take the Bucs to cover 4.5 points. The over-under for this game is set at 51.5 points. Both team defenses have given up over 250 total points and are at the bottom 5 in average points allowed per game. This is a no-brainer, folks. I'm going with the over on this one. And that's our Week 10 preview of the Arizona Cardinals versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me know who you think will win this game by leaving a comment below. Like and subscribe, and if you're a real tough Buck, then click that bell icon so that you get real-time notifications on when new videos drop. So until next time, Buck Nation, you know what to do. Keep firing them cannons.